Chapter 2 Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Stopping by Woods on Snowy Evening is one of Robert Frost's most famous poems, filled with the theme of nature and vivid imagery that readers of his work have come to love. In this lesson, we will summarize the poem, discuss its major theme, and several interpretations. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening characters. The main character in Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening are the speaker, the owner of the woods, and the horse. So let's start the poem. First line: whose woods these are? I think I know. The speaker thinks about who owns the woods that he or she is passing through and is fairly sure of knowing the landowner. Next line: his house is in the village, though, however, the owner's home is far away in the village. Next two lines: he will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Thus, he is physically incapable of seeing the speaker pause to watch the snowfall in the forest. Explanation: the poet is out on his horse for some important job and gets to stop by the woods for some time. He thinks he knows the owner of these woods, who lives in the village. The poet is enjoying his moment in solitude where the owner cannot see him, immersed in the beauty of his snow clad woods. The unequaled beauty of the magnificent scene has captivated the poet, and he has stopped for some time to immerse himself in its beauty. Next two lines: my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. The speaker thinks his horse must find it strange to stop so far from any sign of civilization. Next two lines: between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. Indeed, they are surrounded only by the forest and a frozen lake on the longest night of the year. Explanation: it is quite an odd place to stop by, and the poet wonders that his horse must be thinking why his master has stopped by at such an odd looking place. There is no farmhouse close by, and the evening in the darkest of the year. Why he has held the poor creature near the woods and before frozen lake. The poem is also a means of connecting with the nature. The horse is poet's partner in the journey, and the dumb animal cannot speak, but the poet can feel its emotions. Next two lines: he gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The horse shakes the bells on its harness as if asking if the speaker has made a mistake by stopping. Next two lines: the only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The only other sound besides the ringing of these bells is that of the wind and falling snowflakes. Explanation: the puzzled horse does not get any response from his master. Perhaps he is afraid or worried and shakes his harness bell in an attempt to hurry his master. The night will grow darker. In that evening, any other sound that the poet can hear is only that of the wind and the falling snowflakes. Frost has captured the beauty of the nature in these lines artistically, and the entire poem seems a beautiful portrait of nature. Imagine a calm evening with snowflakes falling while you stand by the woods. It pleases the nerves and clears any confusion and stress. The solitude and the peace of the setting are the main attraction of the poem. So let's move to the next two lines. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. The speaker finds the woods very alluring, drawn both to their darkness and how vast and all encompassing they seem. However, the speaker has obligations to fulfill elsewhere. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Thus, though he or she would like to stay and rest, the speaker knows there are many more miles to go before that will be possible. Explanation part is there, so we'll see the explanation. These words are so lovely, even if they are dark and deep, that the poet cannot resist the pleasure of watching them. He wishes to stay longer at the place but cannot. He and his horse have to go miles before they can sleep. So he will go on. But getting such a magnificent view of nature is a matchless experience in itself. He will be reminded of the scene again and again. The poem is best known for its simplicity, and to find any hidden symbolical meaning in it is not possible. It still signifies the poet's desire to break away from busy life and seek an escape somewhere closer to nature. Several poets have tried to capture nature's beauty in their words, but Frost's poem deserves appreciation. Poem summary: Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening is a poem by Robert Frost in which speaker stops to watch snow falling through the tree and consider the darkness and the journey ahead. The speaker stops his horse outside a wood in the snow on the darkest evening of the year. Hearing his horse bells shake, the speaker imagines that the animal wants to keep going. The speaker hesitates, drawn by both the promises he must keep and the enchanting lure of the wintry woods.